What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today, we are going to the courtroom to witness the sentencing of Jussie Smollet. Now, I'm not going to go into depth and detail on his situation. I'm sure the judge is going to break it down a bit, but when he gets sentenced, he says something that is a little eerie.
He, as I pointed out and Ms. Landon pointed out, has very serious constitutional technical issues and many more issues, substantive issues with this case. As a result, I've advised him not to make any allocution based on his appellate rights at this time.
Well, you may give him advice, but I need to hear from Mr. Smollet directly because it's his decision. So, Mr. Smollet, do you want to say something, or would you rather not say anything? That's fine. All right. All right, we're at the end of the road here. This matter has been pending in the criminal justice system for 3 years, approximately. It's been approximately 2 years on this particular docket.
Man, y'all know I gotta do the courtroom analysis. This judge right here is what I call just. He doesn't have just one scale of justice, he has two. Two of them. That means he is definitely just. And look at the drop top 94 Scottie Pippen. But there's definitely something that's really tweaking my vibes right now, man. Fix them damn cords, Your Honor. Come on now. Zip tie them shits up. Do something, man. That thing looks trashy. Not to mention the walls in this place, man. They must be renovating. Look, they got a fan here, which leads me to think they ain't got no AC in there, so it gets extra warm when the smoke starts pouring. Carpet's garbage. Looks like the cops been training their canines on it. And one thing I can't stand more than anything is a half-open laptop. Come on, man. If I was Mr. Smollet, I'd get up nice and quietly and try to sneak right into this cabinet. Catch that escape jank.
It was returned by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. There was a quick dismissal that occurred in this case that caused tremendous consternation in the community, and to this day is a basis of great confusion and misunderstanding and mistrust. In any event, some things happened after the first dismissal, the only dismissal on the case after the first indictment. People were very upset. One person came forward in particular, and that person, of course, is Sheila O'Brien. Sheila O'Brien is a former retired appellate court justice in the state of Illinois. She came to court as a common citizen without credentials, just by herself. And she said she had a grievance, and she wanted her grievance heard. And she thought that with the handling of the case by the State's Attorney's Office of Cook County was so upsetting that she was losing sleep. And she explained in her petition all the reasons that she thought that a special prosecutor had to be appointed, not to necessarily indict or do anything in particular, but just to look at this and give it a fresh look.
That girl said she couldn't sleep at night until there was a prosecutor that she could trust handling this case. That's pretty much what she said.
Everything appeared to be wrong. The case ultimately got assigned to Judge Michael Tooman. And I can say that among his peers, among his fellow judges, Michael Tooman is considered cream of the crop. He's a long-standing veteran judge. Been a judge longer than I've been a judge.
Judge right here is paying his respects. He said the judge that handled this matter, I stand by. He's cream of the crop. Man, I ain't heard no one say that to me since I was a pitcher in high school. Anyway, this guy's over here co-signing for the judge just in case anybody might got it twisted. He's saying this judge is 100% justice.
In this building for many years. He sat on the appellate court of Illinois. He's the current head of the juvenile justice system. He has been a long-standing judge who has a reputation for knowledge, integrity, honesty, and always knowing what the right thing to do is.
I agree, Your Honor.
He took this matter under advisement, and hearings were conducted. And after all these hearings were conducted, and he listened to both sides, he heard from the State's Attorney of Cook County, he heard from Ms. O'Brien, he recognized that there was confusion in the public, there was concern, that confidence in the criminal justice system locally here was at risk and may have been damaged, and that the case required a second look. And Michael Tooman, in his wisdom, sought out the proper, what he thought to be the right person to address this. And he identified Dan Webb and the Winston Strong law firm as the people that might be able to take on the task. Dan Webb and Winston Strong agreed to take on the task, and as I already indicated, they did this pro bono, which means they did it for free.
Damn.
I don't know that at the time they signed up for this, that they had any idea that it was going to be as work-intensive as this case has become.
Why the hell would these attorneys work pro bono? For self-promotion? Hello. If I were to guess, them attorneys definitely got some more clientele after this case. And look what happened just by him reading that they did this pro bono. Read his name out loud. We're all here right now. We're all discussing it a little more. That right there is self-promoting at its best. So when the judge says pro bono, like it's something magical, it ain't magical. They're getting something from it. Trust me.
The pre-sentence investigation has been completed, and we're at the final step of proceedings on the trial court level of the criminal case, and that's sentencing. Let me talk first about the sentencing range, because I think there may be some misunderstanding, at least how the court assesses the sentencing range. This is a Class 4 felony. This is the lowest class felony in the state of Illinois. I will note that legislatures throughout the country, in Illinois in particular, have constantly cut into judicial discretion and forced us to have mandatory sentencings under different circumstances. And we have to do this and we have to do that, and try to have some kind of cookie cutter justice. But that does not exist in this case for me. I am left unfettered.
Do you hear what he said? They try to make every case like a cookie cutter. Nice, clean, and on to the next.
Under Illinois law, the range of sentence in this case is as follows. Mr. Smollet is looking at a probationary term of up to 30 months. He can receive time in the county jail as a conditional probation of up to 180 days. He can be ordered to perform community service, ordered to participate in behavioral classes, ordered to pay restitution, ordered to pay a fine. He's also subject to a penitentiary sentence of what I find to be 1 to 3 years. Now there's talk about, well, what about 5 counts? Shouldn't he be at least eligible for a 15-year sentence? There are ways to analyze Illinois law and say that in a case where there are 5 counts, that consecutive sentences might be required or might be at least considered. I don't believe that I could ever make the findings that are necessary in Illinois law, and I'm not going to have a long dissertation about it, but I don't think those findings would apply. I don't think Illinois law, for the facts I have before me, would allow for consecutive sentences. So as far as I'm concerned, the penitentiary sentence, should there be one, would be 1 to 3 years. I'm mindful that there's acute public interest in this case.
Yeah.
We have television cameras. They want to be here, and they are here.
People want him to get smoked. That's what it is.
People are watching. People seem to care passionately for varieties of reasons about this case, and the reasons are
You know the reasons, Your Honor.
And let me be clear, that the sentence that I put down today and render down to Mr. Smollet
Don't talk
is
candidly.
not in any way, shape, or form to assuage any public sentiment in any form at all. I'm listening to things that were brought to me in court today, things people that have participated in the aggravation and mitigation portions of the presentation today.
This guy's stressing, man. He's checking all his angles.
What's going to be rendered today is going to be strictly for Mr. Smollet. It's going to be fashioned for him. And when a judge sentences somebody, and I've been doing this for quite a while now,
Oh, God.
you have to look at both the crime that was committed and the person that committed it. How did the person get here? Who is this person? What is the crime? You put them together, you look at the sentencing range, and you try to find something that is just and fits and makes sense and that is right.
Just
And
get
that's
to
what
it,
we're
man.
going to do.
There we go.
Let me tell you, Mr. Smollet, I know that there is nothing that I will do here today that can come close to the damage you've already done to your own life.
Dang.
You've turned your life upside down by your misconduct and shenanigans. You've destroyed your life as you knew it. And there's nothing that any sentencing judge could do to you that can compare to the damage you've already caused to yourself.
I'm just going to say what I feel. Oh, Smollet was a crash dummy. They threw the batteries in his back ×2. Always remember, try not to get caught up in the hype when someone else is hyping you up.
The hypocrisy is just astounding. I don't know where to begin. I'll remember one thing that will always stick in my mind, and I've been involved in so many trials over the years, and it talks about your sensitivity to issues of social justice. You're on the witness stand. You're being cross-examined.
Mm-hmm.
Your liberty is at stake. It is your criminal trial.
Yep.
Mr. Webb is winding through some things on cross-examination, and he's going through some social media communications, and whether it was Instagram or chat or text, a little quibbling about that doesn't matter. But Mr. Webb found a line that he wanted to confront you with. He said, "Didn't you say and he used a word starting with the letter N. Meet me at this place at this time, and I'm paraphrasing. And rather than just answer the question, which is what a witness is supposed to do and expected to do in their criminal trial, you stopped the proceedings. You said, Mr. Webb, out of respect for all the African American people in this courtroom, you should not be using that word. And I was amazed. But it showed, and I'm not talking about the parrying and the gamesmanship that may go on between a prosecutor and a witness on the stand. That's not why I'm telling this, recalling this event. But what I'm talking about is how sensitive you were to any kind of slight. That anybody, if the wrong words come out of somebody else's mouth, you're going to get up and speak up and complain about it, and make sure that they know that that they're not behaving the way you're supposed to behave. So you know better than anybody else that these are serious matters. They're serious to you. They're clearly serious to you, and as your whole family. And for you to be here now.
Imagine being in the courtroom and some of the major evidence that you have starts with an N-word. But the defendant says, look, buddy, you can't say the N-word in America.
Convicted of these hate crimes. It's just astonishing.
It is.
Fake
It
hate
is.
crimes.
Yes, it is.
So why did this happen?
Is that distilled?
That's a good question. I think that's the question on everybody's mind.
Yes, I know.
There's some conjecture you did it for the money. Frankly,
Ooh.
I do not believe that you did it for the money.
Ooh.
You were making, the evidence showed, close to $2 million a year when this happened. I don't think money motivated you at all.
Listen, Your Honor, $2 million a year ain't shit for the crowd that he was probably running with. He was probably partying with some of the best actors, actresses, NBA, whatever. He's got to keep up with that tab, man. And $2 million ain't gonna cut it, trust me. So yeah, money could have definitely been an issue here. Money's always an issue, man. Greed, there's never no cap to greed, Your Honor. You know this.
You knew this was a country that was slowly trying to heal past injustices and current injustices and trying to make a better future for each other. And it was a hard road. And you took some scabs off some healing wounds and you ripped them apart for one reason. You wanted to make yourself more famous. And for a while it worked. Everybody was talking about you.
Yep.
The lights are on you. You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself. And why would you do such a thing? Why would you?
Snake.
I understand you crave the attention so much, but why would you betray something like social justice issues, which you care so much about?
The judge is about to break down exactly what he did, so if you're a little lost, listen up.
N-word, F-word. You're going to hit me. You're going to beat me up. You're going to put bleach on me. You're going to put a noose around my neck. It's a script that you wrote. Now, it's not a good script, especially for Streeterville in Chicago. It's questionable, but it's a script that you wrote. You picked out the actors.
That's a
You
damn
chose the
potent
Ocean
script.
brothers. And why did you do that? Because you knew them. You trusted them. They idolized you. You're an established actor in a serious television production of Empire. They were kind of hangers on there. They're trying to get jobs as extras, maybe a little speaking part here and there, but you were mentoring them. You were helping them. They wanted your advice. They thought you were one of the greatest people in the world to know and that you could help them in their careers. They idolized you and they would have done anything for you, and you chose them because you knew that you could trust them, that they were loyal to you. You paid them in advance by check. Not necessarily a good idea.
Check.
It was your idea. It
Wow.
was part of the plan that you would pay them in advance, and the check was out there. The check was shown into evidence.
Even the dumbest of crooks know to use crypto. Cash.
That was part of your premeditation. You chose a date. You chose a time. You chose a location. You had props procured. You gave them a
Props?
$100 bill and had them get the supplies. What
Not
are the supplies
props.
in this case? Get masks. Nobody should see you. We're going to say that you're white, but obviously the Ocean brothers are not white. We're going to cover
I don't
your
even
faces
think
in
they're
masks.
light-skinned.
Going to have a red hat because that's going to indicate MAGA country. Going to get a rope that we're going to use as a noose.
Damn.
Going to procure some bleach. You're going to have the supplies.
Nice.
And then you had all that together, and then you did rehearsals. You picked them up
No.
and you did drive-bys. You drove around and around the block. You picked them up in Lakeview in their neighborhood and some distance away. You went to
No.
Streeterville where you were living, and you showed them. You're going here, you're going there, and you're going over the lines. You're going over the script with them so they would memorize the script. You're indicating which brother. You're the one that's going to hit me.
Whoops.
You're the one that's going to put the noose
Premature.
around my neck and pour the bleach on me. This was planned. This was premeditated to the extreme. And I find that your extreme premeditation in this case is an aggravating factor today. Let's talk about the incident itself.
Premature.
It's all set up. The Alchandero brothers are on board. Your plane is running late.
Oh, no.
Now, you had a chance right then and there to think, okay, I'm really late. I'm 4 hours late. This can't go down. It's freezing in Chicago. We're on the verge of a polar vortex. You might have just thought about it and said, maybe it's not in the cards. Maybe the karma is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. But no.
A lot of people like to dismiss that thought as just their conscience, but usually I listen to it, and I strongly recommend y'all do the same.
No. You double down. You start communicating with the brothers through social media. Now, whether it was by texts or chats or Instagram, public or private, one way or another, you kept in touch with them. And there was some quibbling about the specifics about how you kept in touch with them, but they knew what time you're coming in, and now the time is pushed back to 2 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold weather. It's double digits below zero at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Who's going to be walking in at that temperature at that time of night?
You have a reason to be out on the street. And the reason you chose is you come up with the story that you needed to get some eggs at Walgreens at 2 o'clock in the morning. If not that, you're going to go to Subway and get a sandwich and a salad and get something to eat at 2 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold. You did one more thing. You got the Alchandero brothers. Now they're on board with you. You're using them as your patsies. Professional man that's trying to help you in your career. You're not sure what town he's in, if he's in Australia or not, but you get him on the phone, and he's going to be your patsy also, because he's going to listen and be around on the phone to hear that you're being attacked by somebody. Now, he doesn't know what's going on, that it's really not an attack, but he's going to be able to corroborate your story.
Oh, wow.
So you're getting that together. You got Brandon on the phone, you're out on the street, ostensibly to get some Subway, you get some Subway, and you're walking to where this is supposed to take place. Now, the Alchandero brothers, they're getting ready too. And they're doing this because you wanted them to do it on the sneak. No cell phones involved.
Sneak tip.
Make sure nobody sees you get there. And what they think is some kind of clever way of getting there, they have an Uber pick them up from their home in Lakeview. They take the Uber to Old Town. It's a different neighborhood. They get out of the Uber and they get into a cab. Now, the cab is supposed to go to Streeterville, but not to the scene where this is supposed to happen, a few blocks away. So nobody actually sees them get out of the cab, and this works out the way you want it to work out. So they get there a little early, they're walking around, they're sitting on a bench for a minute, but at 2 o'clock, the time that you said this is supposed to happen, at the place you said it was supposed to happen, at the moment you said it was supposed to happen, they appear. So you're talking to Brandon on the phone, you have your Subway in hand, and they follow the script. Hey, Empire, word with the letter N, word with the letter F. There's a scuffle. They pour bleach on you. Brandon's listening to this. They attempt to put a noose around your neck during the scuffling. You're getting a little abrasion and scrape on your face. A car goes by.
All fake.
The brothers take off. They leave. They never did get the noose around your neck. So what do? You gather your belongings. You get the cell phone. You're talking to Brandon. Hey, did you get jumped? Yeah, I got jumped. I got mugged. Did you hear what happened? You're trying to make sure that he heard the words that were spoken. You grab your food, and you took the noose that they never did get around your neck, and you put it around your own neck. I repeat, put the noose around your own neck. You go home. Video footage shows that when you walk into your residence, you have this noose dangling loosely around your neck. You go into your apartment, the police are called, the police arrive. The first officer on the scene is Chicago Police Officer Muhammad Bey, in full uniform.
Me, if I was an officer, I'd be like, bro, why'd you walk 7 blocks with the thing still around your neck? Come on, man. Me, if someone slid a damn noose around my neck and the car shows up and they run, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? I'm slinging the fucking noose off my neck. But not Mr. Smollet. He wanted to paint the picture true and blue. Let's wear this noose all the way to breakfast at IHOP.
First responder, the first responder. His body cam is on. He sees you. And now he sees that noose is around your neck, but it's not the way that you walked into the house. Now the noose is up at your throat. You've maneuvered the noose, and you've made it look worse than it was.
Wow.
This is part of your plan. Officer Bay gets a simple question, what happened? And then you start to lie. And you haven't stopped lying ever since. You've become toxic in your own workplace. Your career future is uncertain at very best. It was really on a rocket ship to success, and now you've turned yourself into riches to rags, and it's so unfortunate. Your very name has become an adverb for lying, and I cannot imagine what could be worse than that.
The face of lying,
People talk about
right here.
situations where somebody's lying and trying to manipulate and maneuver a story, and your name comes up as, pulling a Jussie, something like that. That's awful. You're the butt of jokes.
Damn.
Comedians,
Oh.
mainstream talk show hosts, they make jokes about you.
Yep.
They do sketches about you. I can't imagine anything worse than that. No, this is all self-inflicted. These are things you did to yourself. This is self-damage. And I'm your sentencing judge. And I don't find it funny. So where are we at? We're at the end. You are convicted of a Class 4 felony. It's presumptively probationable, but we have some real serious aggravating factors here.
Ooh.
The pain you've caused to real victims of hate crimes, which I have described. The damage you've done to the city of Chicago, I've heard. It's been talked about. I'm mindful of the city's request for restitution, and if I'm going to consider that request, I have to fashion the sentence accordingly. And above all, the capper of all cappers, your performance on the witness stand. This could only be described as pure perjury. You got on the witness stand, you didn't have to, you did, you certainly have a right to, but you committed hour upon hour upon hour of pure perjury. But I'm looking at everything in its totality. And I agree. It's told to me today, you can't judge everybody by one bad thing they've done in their life. I don't know if it's the only bad thing, but it's the only bad thing that I'm concerned about now. And that you do have quite a record of real community service and quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well. And I'm mindful of the pleas of mercy, particularly from people that are in the arena of dealing with social justice issues, that are fighting, seriously fighting, not playing around, not doing games like you were doing, but seriously fighting for matters involving hate crimes.
Yeah, he just
of
makes
all
people
sorts.
like that look bad,
And they're
man.
asking you for mercy as well. So I'm trying to consider who you are as a person, how you got here, how somehow you strayed away from your family values, you let that dark, narcissistic, selfish, and arrogant side come out,
Here we go.
sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court. You're going to be allowed to travel wherever you want. You do not have to live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some of the things you do, you may have to go to other places, New York and Los Angeles. You can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine, the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail. And that will start today, right here, right now. Mr. Smollet, so the jury found you guilty and I've sentenced you as I have. You have the right to appeal the findings and rulings of the court or ask your sentence to be modified. To do those things, you need to file a notice of appeal in writing within 30 days. You may also file a motion to modify your sentence, which would have to be filed in writing within 30 days. Anything not stated in those filings are waived for purposes of appeal. You cannot afford lawyers or transcripts. They would be provided free of charge. Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal.
It's too late, you're
If
smoked,
anything
bruh.
happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time